I got here the big ass pot. It is full of water and it is boiling. I also have put 2 tablespoons of salt into the big ass pot of boiling water because salt water will help flavor the pasta. I have about 15 or so pieces of lasagna pasta that I'm just going to start to put in here, and I'm going to try to put them away from each other a little bit. I don't want them to stack on each other exactly because they can try to stick together that way, and I got another little trick to avoid that here in just a minute too. So bear with me. Okay, and the last one now. Now, pasta's in the boiling water. Take a little bit of olive oil. There we go. That will also assist in the pasta not sticking together. So once that's got just a second or two to get working, I'm going to get my spoon in there and start to spin it around, stir it up a little bit to help it from sticking. It takes about 10 to 12 minutes, it says on the box, for this to get al dente. Well, al dente, it might as well be a Greek shot putter for all I care. You need to cook this a little underdone because it's going to continue to bake in the oven. So I'm saying about 8 or 9 minutes. We're going to check at 8 or 9 minutes. Start my timer. Until then, I got to get some mushrooms rolling. So I got my pan. It's still hot. There's just a teeny tiny little bit of beef fat still in there. It's not going to hurt nothing. I'm going to toss in some butter. That's 2 tablespoons of butter. And a little bit of olive oil. And I brought the olive oil in there with the butter to raise the burn point because butter will burn in a heartbeat. Now, for this, I am using butter and not margarine because I'm cooking my mushrooms. And let me tell you something, Jack. Mushrooms do not taste the same when they are cooked in margarine. They just don't. So you have to use real butter for mushrooms. Otherwise, I'm going to make fun of you. Now, I'm going to take my spoon, my wooden spoon, because this is a non-stick pan, and I'm just going to work these all around. I can't let them sit too long, otherwise they'll burn. And I want to get the butter and oil on most of the surfaces as quickly as I can so that they'll cook evenly. So, we're going to check back in just a minute when the mushrooms have cooked down and the pasta's been going for a little bit longer. Okay, looky here. Our shrooms are done. You can tell they're done, obviously, because they're not white anymore. And they've given off their mushroom water, which
the shrooms are done, man.
Jesus Lord. You know, if I didn't pay you, I'd have fired you by now. Anyhow, my mushrooms are done. So, I'm going to take these off the stove now. I'm going to drain them through the colander to get all this mushroom water off. I'm going to put them to the side. Now, my pasta's got another minute or so, and so I'm going to come get that in just a minute. So hang with me. I'll be right back. Whoop whoop! Stop! Okay, my pasta has been going for 8 minutes. Let's have a look here. Oh yeah. See how nice and ribbony, and I don't even know if you can see that in the shot or not, but hey, can they see that? He's shaking his head yes. He's been in the mushrooms though, so I don't know if he knows what he's talking about. Anywho, I'm going to take that off the heat. Now this is a part where you can't screw around because there's a whole lot of steam that can burn the hell out of you, and there's a whole lot of hot water that can burn the hell out of you. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our pot, we're going to move it to an eye that's off because them handles are hotter than hell. I'm going to get my oven mitts. These are my heavy duty ones. I set this one down on the eye, can you see? Alright, and we're going to take it over here to the sink, and we're going to very easy and gingerly pour out this hot water. Alright, now get this out of the way. Now this is going to remain hotter. It's going to be hot, okay? So kind of start around with that water cycle out of there. And watch that steam because it'll burn it. Women pay good money for this at the spa, you know. Okay, so I'm going to let this cool just a little bit. Now it's time to assemble the lasagna. Who knew, right? So let's get the pan and we're going to show you how to do all this and throw it up. We're in the home stretch of our lasagna now. Everything that needs to have been pre-cooked is now cooked. and we have to actually build the thing. Now, if you ever play with Legos or Tinker Toys, this ain't gonna be no trouble. But if you didn't, I'll show you step by step. We're gonna take our tomato sauce, okay? And we're just gonna put a little bit, about that much, spread it all around, all the way around. I need a little bit more, because I want it to just make a pretty consistent layering. In fact, I'm just gonna do this deal right here. There, I got tomato sauce pretty much all over the bottom of the pan. Now from there, I add my lasagna. We're going to take 3 and cover the bottom. Now if one's torn, don't throw a fit. It's going to taste the same. And be careful because they're still hotter than hell. Good night. Okay, we got our first 3 pieces of pasta. Now it's time to add our chaise mixture, which I like to do is a big blop in the middle of each one of these. I don't think those blobs are big enough. So it's in here, it's in here, and it's in here. Now let's go ahead and mix this all up. You know what? I think I'm gonna have to use my hands. Oh well, they're clean. We'll spread this out all over. Get a little bit more. And you get the idea. We're making layers. And if it doesn't come out exactly pretty, that's fine, because it's all going to melt pretty equally anyway. Now that we got our cheese in there, we need to add some of our protein, if you have protein. So I have the ground beef. And we're going to repeat this until we get to the very tip top. Now, on one of these layers, I'm going to skip the ground beef and put the mushrooms on one layer, because that's going to rock my socks. And so, now that I've got that, I take my tomato sauce again. This time I put quite a significant amount more. And we do it all over again. Alright, look here, we got all of our layers built. There's only one more thing left to do, and that's I'm going to add a little bit of tomato sauce. Just a little bit. And a little bit right now. Let me grab my spoon, or a spoon, or some sort of device that resembles a spoon. This one has a hole in it. I don't know why. But either way, get that nice and spread out. Now we're going to cover the top with some good mozzarella cheese. Now this cheese I have here is actually a blend of many kinds of good cheeses. It has Parmesan and Romano and Asiago and Provolone and Fontina and Fonzie and Chachi and all them other things I can't pronounce. Now I like a lot of cheese. And my hand's big and this little end opening's kind of small, so bear with me. Make sure you cover it pretty well. It is going to melt and cover, but I think this is going to be right about enough right meow. Now, we've got this in a lasagna pan that's made of foil. It's sturdy, but it's not sturdy enough. And you don't want this thing to go bending and breaking on you when you pull it out of the oven and it's all 9 million degrees. And so, put it on a cookie sheet, and that way, when you pick it up, it's not going to fold in half. We're going to take this to the oven, which has been preheated to 350 degrees. So, into my oven you go. What am I forgetting? What am I forgetting? I'm forgetting foil. I gotta cover it first. One of my millions of highly paid assistants got my attention before I took it to the oven. Here we go. There. Now you see here I've spliced together 2 pieces of foil because it's such a large pan. You can do that. It's awful easy. Just fold it together. Now, to a 350 degree oven. Put you in now. I'm setting my timer for 30 minutes, okay? It won't be done in 30 minutes, but I'm going to check it. I'm going to probably take the foil off, and it should be just about ready to end its last leg. Now let's go ahead and take a look at that butter that we were going to make for the cool garlic bread.